short timer. I'm going to call to order the council meeting of the 20th of October, 2020. Rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Sure.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. I just had the wrong glasses on.
there
I'm
you go.
sorry. A quorum is present for City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority.
Okay, please note the members of the public be allowed to observe and/or address City Council meeting of October 20th at 2 p.m. for open session as follows. Written public comments. Members of the public may choose to submit comments electronically for consideration by the City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority by sending them to the City Clerk, Secretary at yhorton@cityofinglewood.org and Deputy City Clerk A. Phillips at cityofinglewood.org. To ensure distribution, you would have to submit comments prior to 8 a.m. the day of the meeting. By telephone, listening to the meeting and making public oral comments. Members can participate by telephone to listen and make comments. The conference begins at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, and all interested parties may join the conference 5 minutes prior to that. If you're dialing from a cell phone, please call from an area of good reception. If you're watching the meeting via Facebook Live or Channel 35, while accessing the phone line, it's requested that you mute the sound of your video feed as it is delayed from the phone transmission. To dial in for October 20th, you may dial 888-251-2949 or 215-861-0694 using the access code of 1995402 pound. You can view and listen to the meeting without making comments on Spectrum Cable Channel 35 with audio and limited video. And you can watch live online through Facebook Live with audio and limited video. And with that, we'll have public comment. Operator, are there any callers on the line?
As a reminder, to make a public comment, please dial #2 on your telephone keypad. And we do have several callers here in the queue.
All right,
First
go ahead.
caller, go ahead. Your line is unmuted. Caller, please go ahead. We can't hear you on our end.
Operator, would you go to the next caller?
Moving forward. Caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead and state your name and comment.
Yes, this is Billion with the Africa Town Coalition. One, I noticed the city attorney is again automatically rejecting claims by people in the city. That's not in the best overall interest. If vehicles are being damaged due to the streets being torn up, people do need to be reimbursed. Also, I noticed the Inglewood Police Department is requesting to use funds from asset forfeiture, and that basically is a conflict of interest, seeing how they're the ones who are seizing the asset from the public, that they then be allowed to use those funds would basically be an incentive for them to these people's property. So that most definitely is not good. And just lastly, once again, people did get out through the community and talk to people as far as their needs for rental assistance. So one letter is worth it, and I'm sure there are a number of people on the phone waiting to speak on their needs for rental assistance.
Mayor,
Thank
point
you.
of order.
Operator, could you?
Mayor, point of order. It's my understanding that consent calendar item number 4 has been pulled,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
so therefore, there's no discussion regarding asset forfeiture funds.
So we'll catch it next time. Thank you. Next caller.
Caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead.
Hello, this is Ivan. I'm calling from District 1, longtime resident or short-time resident since 2012. Just want to say you guys are doing a great job. Go Inglewood, woo!
Go Ivan. See, he's been here since 2012. He was at the bottom, and now he's at the top. Next caller, operator.
Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Am I able to speak?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mayor and City Council. Yo, Matthew, District 4. I'd like to speak on item 3, on the developer fees on SEQA. You should refuse those fees. The developer should pay us all fees from SEQA, and this is 2 years ago. Item number 3. No, that was item number 3 on the lava funds. You reject the invoice on item 5. But the thing is that when residents speak on an item, the council has the advantage they can speak on an item and get pull an item and get a brief or report. But now when the residents pull an item, not pull it, but speak on it, nothing is done. You just go on and approve the items based on the agenda. All I'm saying, it needs kind of fair play. And also, I'm going to suggest this. Most residents do not understand the process that you're using on agenda items because they don't have access to it. However, you're doing the best you can, I understand. But we need a little reform on the process where you can involve more residents rather than say, well, you're not speaking on the item on the agenda. But we're going to need a administration, total reform of this whole administration, because it appears to be that this administration is not ready for the current situation. We're not getting proper advice. And there's no reflection upon administration. It's just that you seem to be consolidating. You have department heads serving as assistant managers, which means there's no oversight from department heads to the administration, the city manager, and to assist the city manager. In other words, it's going to be dysfunctional. And it's not just me. It's just the way things are being done.
Okay, Gil, that was a long 3 minutes. Next caller, operator.
Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Yeah, how's it going? This is Curtis Days calling in. This is addressing the police department. I just let everybody know who's watching this video. The mayor Bush can play everybody like a fool. Councilman Dotson.
Operator, would you mute him, please? Listen, Curtis, you have to do that at the end. We definitely want to hear that again, but you'll have to do it at the end. Operator, next caller.
There are no further callers in the queue.
Mayor,
Okay.
Mayor, I have one that was emailed in to me
Okay,
whenever
go right ahead.
thank you.
We love surprises.
It's from Inglewood residents, and it says, to be read during the 3-minute portion. I have questions about the warrant register. A, we are paying Passport Labs for services from the parking fund for $3,125, and they are closed. Circle is our parking vendor.
Thomas
Why-
Bunn is asking for you to speak closer into the mic, please.
I'm sorry. Circle is our parking vendor. Why are taxpayers paying for their background check? B, we are paying Fairmont Tires nearly $15,000 for tires when we have several tire shops in Inglewood. Why are we continuing to support Inglewood businesses, especially mom and pops? C, we are paying fees of close to $75,000 for August and September to Superior Court out of parking fund. Why? D, we are paying Tara Spencer $10,000 for public service announcements that aren't related to any specific department. The city is paying the MacArthur Trust for the Police Community Center that doesn't open to the public, nor does it state it's an ICOP center. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment of the bills.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Madam Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
The next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider the adoption of a resolution adopting a substantial amendment to the fiscal year 2020 to 2021 annual action plan for the receipt of CARES Act Round 3 funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Has the notice of the hearing been given in the time, form, and manner as required by law? And do you have the affidavit on file?
Notice has been given, an affidavit is on file.
Have any communications been received on the matter?
Yes, I do have communications.
Okay.
2 of them.
You want to read them?
Go ahead now?
Yeah.
Okay. The city needs to spend this new round of funds to help additional residents with rent relief. Allow more residents to apply and use the same mailing list that is sent out, the CDBG survey, to encourage more participation. Have you asked the ISUD to help spread the word? Allow more than a week to get the applications in. The libraries are closed and one-stops can hold so many people due to the social distancing requirements. Thank you. That's Inglewood Resident District 1. And then there's another one. I'm writing to state how we want the CARES Act funding spent. Currently there are only 275 applications who will receive 3 months in back rent pay with an additional $1,035,000 $1,671 awarded to the city on September 11th, 2020. I am asking the application filing period be reopened, that you and make the community room A accessible for applicants, create specific times for residents to apply at the one-stop center located at 110 South La Brea Avenue, and restrict the program to residents living in multifamily housing and not housing commonly known as motel or hotel. Respectfully submitted. And I'll have to read off their last names because it's kind of, it didn't come through all the way on the email, but Hernandez, it looks like Mann, and Zavala, and Santos.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, operator, any callers on the line?
Oh, do you want a staff report?
Staff report?
There's a staff
Oh, you're
report.
right. Go ahead. Staff report.
Yes, Mr. Roberto Chavez, HUD manager, will give the staff report.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Thank you for your time and attention. Roberto Chavez, HUD Programs Manager. Thank you for your time and attention. Today, we're here for the City of Inglewood Public Hearing CARES Act Community Development Block Grant Round 3 funding. This is a draft fiscal year 2020 to 2021 annual action plan substantial amendment to receive the Round 3 funds from HUD. This first slide will give you a little background. HUD CARES Act Round 3 funding was issued in September of 2020. The city received a CARES Act allocation federal Round 3 CDBG CV fund to address affordable housing and economic needs related to COVID-19 pandemic. The annual action plan, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, Office of Community Plan and Development, requires CPD grantees to execute a substantial amendment to the annual action plan. Today, we're conducting a hearing in accordance with 24 CFR Part 91.105. Proposed use of the funding is to provide public assistance through rent relief up to 3 months of rental arrears payments. The graph before you is a summary of the funding, just over $1 million, and the permissible uses for those funds are broken out into public service, administration costs, eligible activities. The schedule for the substantial amendment is that we conduct a public hearing, approve the fiscal year 2020-21 substantial amendment for the CDBG CV funding, submit the substantial amendment for CDBG CV funding to the HUD LA office, and await HUD's LA office approval, which is estimated to be about 45 days. With that, Council, the recommendation is that we conduct a public hearing and consider the resolution for adopting the substantial amendment to the 2020-21 annual action plan. Thank you, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez. We'll receive and file the staff report. Are there any persons on the line present who wish to address the city council on the matter? Operator?
Once again, dialing #2 will indicate that you wish to make a comment. And there are no callers in the queue.
Thank you. With that, we'll close the public comments portion.
Move for adoption?
Second.
There's a motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
So we'll move on to consent calendar. These items will be acted upon as a whole unless called upon by council members. So there's items 2, 3, and 5.
I so move.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. We'll receive and file the comments, and we'll open up the,
Oh, we're through.
We're through with the
oh,
consent.
did you open up for public? comment?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
There was none.
Everything's good.
No one was on the
Then what
queue.
do I need to come here for? You do
Take
it
some
better-
time
You
off.
can look sharp in that suit.
You do it better than I do.
We're on A1.
There was no public comments, Mayor, so
Okay.
we just moved and approved it.
That's why I said you should do it more
Mayor.
often. A1?
Mayor, point of excuse me, Mayor. City Clerk's trying to get your attention.
Yes, ma'am.
I just had one more to read. I can wait.
Oh, no, read it, and then we'll receive and file
This
both
was
of
for
them.
the old.
Okay.
This is from Mr. Hammond, and he wanted me to let you know he would like to verbally express thanks and gratitude to the many city officials that assist my and our efforts in the past 4 years on the Inglewood Stadium construction project. That's all we want.
Okay. So receive and file both those. A1,
Thank you, Mayor. There's no oral reports from the city attorney's office.
CM1,
Thank you, Mayor. There are no oral reports from the city manager's office.
CC1,
No remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
public comments. Any persons wishing to address city council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered may do so at this time. 1 minute. Operator, any callers online?
We do have 2 callers here on the line at this time. First caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Hello? Going once, hello?
Yeah, Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. This virtual situation is a bit, not necessarily confusing, but I'm sure everybody understands it's a little bit cumbersome. And what I would suggest, if possible, most people do not understand the agenda items to speak on. And you only have 3 minutes for that, and then it's a little cumbersome. So if you could allow more time for public speaking. Now, what I'm concerned about is the forfeitures. Now, if you look on the forfeitures, you have police officers with no cameras, and yet you bought $50,000 not dollars, but bullets, 9mm hollow point. So now, what are you doing? Where's your priorities? And 1 minute is not enough to hear from the public. So if possible, you could take some of the time for agenda items and let the public speak and have a public hearing at 7 p.m. Look at your ordinance that you have.
Okay, Mr. Matthew?
You gave the ordinance for public hearing
Mr. Matthew.
that will be held at 7 p.m.
Operator, we're at time. Thank you. Operator, next caller.
Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what was said before me about the meeting time and how essentially these meetings are inaccessible for working class folks. And I don't know what you guys have to lose by by making them at 7 p.m. and making it more accessible for folks to come in and make public comment. Yeah, like the CARES Act, I refuse to believe that there was no one that wanted to comment on it. I'm assuming they couldn't. I don't know what the specifics are with that, but yeah, like I said, I don't see what you guys have to lose by moving this meeting at a later time and having more input and encouraging more people to call in and, yeah, just listening to what they have to say, listening to your constituents.
Thank you. Operator, any other callers?
We do have several more callers here in the queue.
Mm-hmm.
Next caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Hello. Calling regarding the COVID-19 relief. I assume that's what it was. As the Madam Clerk earlier read those letters that was given to y'all for y'all to listen to, as we had canvass throughout the neighborhood and throughout the city, we realized that there was a handful of people who weren't aware of the COVID-19 relief program. And some people, or most people, were in dire need of it to the unemployment and due to the hours that have been reduced by their employer. Also, rent is pretty high right now. A lot of people are unemployed and don't have the means to pay their rent. So this program would definitely benefit them. But it was very brief. The application was very brief, and even on top of that, it was due to a lottery system. So we're asking the mayor if he would be willing to extend or reopen the application process so more people can be aware, more people can apply. It would definitely help the working class and people of Inglewood. And regarding the earlier comments made during the opening of the city council meeting, I think it's great. And this administration is no more different than the last administration before Mayor Bud. We also talk corporations.
Operator, we're at time. Next caller.
Caller, please go ahead. Your line's unmuted.
Hello, this is Ivan again. Sorry about that, about the outburst. I got a little nervous. But I just wanted to say that you guys are doing a very good job. I think I represent the silent majority. Because I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. It's just kind of disheartening hearing everybody spoke ill of the city when you guys are clearly doing a good job. But I don't want to go on a rant about that. But, yeah, thanks for doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Operator, any other callers?
We have another caller here in the queue. Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Oh, okay. So, Mayor, first off, let me get my 3 minutes back because stuff that I wanted to address was on the agenda. So you jumped the gun once again, and you didn't give me my full 1 minute.
You have.
So I appreciate.
You have 46 seconds left.
Yeah, okay. So it could be a minute. So that's what I need to get. So, Mayor Bud, we need to let everybody know that you're fully aware of your corruption. The city attorney, I guess, have not responded to me or my attorney. And I just realized that your Inglewood Police Department did a bogus charge to your company last week over at the youth center you came to. I didn't get there. You and let's got texts, got emails to each other, you know, everything, Mayor. You need to step down, and it's I need to step down. And Franklin, I respect you out of them. You need to take the leadership position and also God called for the city, Inglewood, and don't be afraid. God is your heart, and God is correcting that Mayor, but that had his heart. So I believe, Mayor, you go to sleep every single night knowing that I'm telling the truth and that I made you aware 3 years ago about corruption.
Operator, thank you. Next caller.
There are no further callers in the queue.
Okay. With that, we'll go to council comments. Councilman Dotson, District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing except I would like to remind the people we're still in this virus and it's getting worse. So please wear your mask, keep your distance, and let's get out of this. We can get out of it, but just follow the rules. Thank you very much and have a great week.
Great. Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to just thank Roberto Chavez on his staff report. You know, it's really important what we're doing here to help our community, our residents. You know, folks have to understand that when we do this, it's to benefit folks that are in need. So when we do these rent modifications to an existing situation, it's to improve the financial abilities for these families to continue to keep a roof over their head. So I want to thank Mr. Chavez for his hard work and his really nice report. I also want to take an opportunity to invite everybody today at 4 o'clock in front of La Tijera School. I'm teaming up with Herb Wesson, and the flyer's up there on the board, starting at 4 o'clock, and he'll do a food giveaway. So please, anybody that's in need, show up down La Tijera, right in front of La Tijera Charter School, and come visit. We'll be out there. I believe the mayor and the council members are going to try to stop by. But come on out, especially you families that need some help. This is the stuff that we do up here as elected officials. And I want to thank Herb Wesson for taking the lead on this. And he's done several of these here, not only in the city of Inglewood, but throughout the greater LA area. So I want to thank Herb for doing that. With that, enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe and healthy. Thank you.
Okay, real quick before we go to District 4, Roberto, would you come up and explain where we are with the distribution of the second allocation is? I don't think people understand that we front-loaded with general fund money, but anyway, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity. Yes, as you'll recall, the city of Inglewood was awarded a first allocation of CARES Act money, and the city council graciously used that money for rent relief. And subsequent to that, the city received another round of funding through the states, and the city council used that money instead of backfilling the general fund, used that money for debit cards for families. So we initially did some application requests. So we advertised on KGLH. We did a newspaper article, did a public notice, handed out flyers at various locations. Unfortunately, the outcome wasn't what we anticipated. We thought we would get thousands of applications, but we did not. We ended up receiving about 1,275 applications for the debit card program and about 250 applications for the rent relief program. After we reported these results to the mayor and council, it was decided that we modify the plan and increase the debit card program from $500 to $1,000. Thank you for that. That makes a big difference for families struggling. In addition, we went back and modified the rent relief program as well. Initially, we thought of a 2-month program in rental arrears. We went back to the drawing board and we thought a 3-month program would be beneficial.
And that ended up to be consistent with the time that people have been out of work for COVID. And so it made even more sense.
That is accurate, sir. And the idea is that we assess the family's situation during the impacted period and determine a payment based on their income at a point in time when they were impacted for a 3-month period, up to a 3-month period. And so the current situation is that we received another allocation of funding to the tune of $1 million called CDBG-CV 3 money. And today we're recommending that you approve the substantial amendment where we would come back to you and maybe reopen the waiting list for the rent relief program and allocate that $1 million to some more rent relief and draw in some more activity for applicants.
And see, now, there'd be no way anybody could say they don't know about it this time because apparently Billion's son or whatever his name is, he goes and knocks door to door. Now, everybody knows because he says that. So I just wanted to make sure that we advertise the same way we did before. And we used up all the money before. We're going to use up all the money to help our residents this time.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank
And
you.
it's been discussed at the council meetings in the past.
I'm being facetious,
No,
buddy.
I know, but I'm.
Thank you. Councilman Franklin?
And then just piggybacking on that comment, just reminding folks that we upfronted the money from the general fund until we got reimbursed by the federal government. Just make sure it's clear. And speaking of expressing yourselves, we are 15 days today out before the November 3rd election. The power of the pen, if you want to express your voice, vote. Get out and express yourself. Look at these measures, look at the candidates running for various offices, and make a conscious decision of something you're willing to live with. And it will be, particularly when the bonds that are out there, understanding some of them as much as 30 years of impact to the homeowners that approve those bonds. So whatever you do, now is the time to take the time to get out to vote. Polls are open. They already have you can vote by mail. No postage is required. You can also go to the drop-off boxes, and then the Madam City Clerk, the voter centers commence.
The drop boxes?
No, voter centers commence this Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Morales,
Thank
District
you.
3.
Thank you, Mayor. Today, I'm just gonna close. It's my first day back since my dad passed, and, you know, it was just a big, huge loss for our family, and the truth is, I'm here because, you know, I grew up, in a household where he loved, what the city stood for, and he looked up to the folks up here, which always made me feel like, you know, something to aspire for. I'm here. He was very proud of that. But I want to thank all of you because I feel like the community has embraced us throughout everywhere. And myself, especially in this building, by all of you, the departments, the texts, the emails, the letters, the flowers. I can't thank you guys enough.
You got it, brother.
It's all right.
All right, we're good.
We are fortunate he died at home with all of us. And, you know, I want to thank my colleagues for showing up to the service, doing such a great job of acknowledging his work.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about.
And it made my mom feel better that he was recognized in that way. So I thank you. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to close the meeting in honor of Eloy Morales Sr., and the city's so fortunate to have someone of his caliber who left his hometown in Mexico when he was 18 years old to come here. Along the way, he became involved in civil rights. He was just a pillar of the community, ran a great soccer league, but more important than that, he was part of the whole bridging the gap between blacks and browns in the city. And I learned so much more about him at that service. And we just love the Morales family. And we are definitely honored that your family settled here in Inglewood. So we're closed in the name of Eloy Morales Sr., and we're adjourned.
Thank you.